Okay, welcome back to this module. It is my favorite topic to talk about. This is what everything else boils down to in your business. If you skip over this, things are going to unravel very, very quickly and not in a good way. And yes, I am ready to head to the gym after recording this. So I have like double the energy to pour into this because I'm pumped. I am pumped for this module. I'm pumped for you to learn about this, and also I have pre-gym energy flowing through my body. So if you thought that the previous module was important for your life, this module is important for building your business in a way that is meaningful and fulfilling and also actually works for your freaking life. So if you skip this again, things are going to unravel, and we don't really want that. Most of us are taught to create one offer and then run with it. By the time that offer is filled up, you'll look around and wonder where the fuck to go from here. Then you look up to the tops of the field and notice that everyone has multiple offers. Everyone has multiple offers. Why the fuck are there people out there teaching you to just create one offer? Create one offer to begin with. Like, don't do everything all at once, but you need to start thinking of your business as being more than one offer, because guess what? If that one offer doesn't sell and you only have that one offer, you're going to be in trouble. So how do you get there? Well, you start by creating a powerful business purpose. What you need is a clearly defined business purpose that guides you in your messaging, in your conversations, and in your everyday decisions on offers and partnerships. See, your vision will ultimately determine your business structure. That's a little beyond the scope of this course, but I'm telling you, like, your vision, your ideal freedom lifestyle, it helps you determine the structure of your offers. However, your mission statement, your business purpose within that structure will help you sell, will help you know which problems your offers have to solve, which desires your offers have to create. It'll help you to figure out what to sell, how to sell it, and who to sell it to. A mission is what you do, for whom, and with what outcome. A purpose takes this one step further. It defines why this matters to the world. In this video, you will answer the big, scary questions. Who and what are you doing this all for? We'll also talk about the mission, giving you access to a much bigger purpose in the world and why that matters and why you shouldn't feel away from it. We'll create, in a granular and strategic sense, we will create this one big fat business purpose statement that reads something like this. I help person go from problem to transformation so that impact in the world. For example, I help disillusioned professionals heal and defy societal conditioning and norms and build financial and intellectual agency to build a freedom-based business that becomes a vessel for change that they want to see in the world. It's wordy. It's not necessarily something that I introduce myself with at a conference, for example, but it is something that guides my everyday decisions in every single offer that I ever put out. How do you get there? Well, let's take a step back and look at a bit of the philosophical background. What is a purpose? You didn't think you would answer that question upon purchasing this course, did you? What is a purpose? I'm going to reference my dear mentor, Robert Holden, once again. He defines a purpose as an exploration of what brings you joy and satisfaction in the present, focusing on being the person you most want to be. Now, that's actually a bit of a relief to hear that, isn't it? Because that means that a purpose is meant to feel really good for you. A purpose isn't something that you're meant to sacrifice yourself for. It's something that's meant to bring you both joy and satisfaction. It's also something that is meant to reveal the person that you truly are. Now, a purpose, this big word, isn't something that you have to find. It's not something that you have to go out and meditate on and figure out. It's not out there. In fact, it's not only inside of you, but it has always been wanting to reveal itself to you through all of the experiences in your life. A purpose is a revelation. It's something that you have to recognize. It's something that you get to remember. You get to reconnect to your purpose. Your purpose reveals itself to you at every single point in your life. I have like a hair. Weird things happen when you begin to grow out your hair and go back to your natural color. Like I now actually see the hair that I'm shedding and it's longer, and it's a whole weird process. So, well, how do you reveal it? If it's that easy to find your purpose, you just have to let it reveal itself to you. How the fuck do you do that? Well, I'm going to walk you through like 3 ways to look at that. And I'm going to invite you, if you've never done this, to go through every one of these 3 ways. At the very least, you have to go through the final 2. But the first one is a nice way to just sort of journal upon your purpose and reflect upon your life from a more empowered lens. So we'll walk through a philosophical way, an intellectual way, and then a strategic way. All 3 are great, as I said. And again, I invite you to think of your purpose not as much as something that you're supposed to find within the course of this video. Rather, well, 2 things. Rather, this video is meant to guide you back to remembering your purpose. And you may not be able to do so within the course of this video, and that is perfectly fine. There are courses out there that will have you work on your mission statement for like an hour and then you move on. This is a core pillar of your entire business, of the thing that hopefully you get to build upon for the rest of your life. Spend a little more than an hour on it. Like, this is something that I revisit with my clients all the time, because once you have it, now you have to be brave enough to lead from it in your content and your offers everywhere in your life. Now you have to embody it, right? So it's something that you want to revisit all the time. Like, I keep expanding my purpose. Like, a year from now, I'm probably not going to say exactly the same words that I say now, but the core message is still going to be the same, which is that I hope you get out of traps, build a freedom-based business that works for you, and a business that changes the fucking world for the better. That's it. But I'm continuously working on embodying that. So spend a little more than an hour on this. That's okay. Okay. Truly, the purpose of your business purpose is this. Are you with me? The point of the business purpose is this. It's a guiding light for all decisions that you make. Does this opportunity align with your purpose? What about this offer? What about this one post? What about this speaking opportunity? What about this podcast interview? What about this whole big scaling strategy that a coach is trying to force upon you? Your business purpose will help you in making these decisions. It's a guiding light. Your business purpose also is the necessary fuel for your marketing. It'll help you determine what is it that you stand for. It's the basis for your brand values and main framework. Your purpose should inform every single post that you put out. If you don't do this by the time we get to marketing, I'm going to send you back here. Without your purpose, you actually cannot create a single offer and have it make sense for your long-term and mid-term goals. Your purpose should inform, every single offer has to contribute to realizing your purpose. How? Future module. Your purpose determines your client journey, which again helps you with content and offers. It's also hopefully a great form of motivation. Like, my purpose is the reason I get out of bed at 7 every morning and start to work for a long time, because I'm really driven by my purpose. So how do you find your purpose? Philosophical first, because I want you to sort of get into the habit of finding answers within first, right? As a coach, I'm a true believer that you already have all of the resources, all of the wisdom, and all of the tools that you need inside yourself. My job is to help you activate these resources, not to fix you. It's not my job to give you a purpose. Maybe you were used to that in a 9-to-5, like someone gave you a job description. You're writing your own now. You're writing your own now. And answers to the bigger questions are inside of you. And the answers to your bigger questions are they've probably popped up in your life before. So I'm going to share my screen with you. This is another document that you will get. Should show up right below this video. Revealing your purpose, the philosophical approach. So these are bigger questions, right? I'm going to invite you to just sort of write down your initial response to them, but then maybe go back the next time you journal. Maybe make it a daily morning ritual where you just sort of look at these questions and begin to answer them, and then begin to reflect on your answers and draw out a golden thread. Like, what do you find yourself keep saying over and over again? What do you find yourself reminiscing upon over and over again? What is always true over and over again? So here are these philosophical revelatory questions. How would I like to leave this world a better place? How would I like to serve? What would I like the greatest accomplishment of my life to be? I know these are big questions, but allow the answers to be equally as big. Big in the sense that they're meaningful. They're as meaningful to you as the questions themselves are big. How am I expressing my creativity? What would I like the world to know? What do you want the world to know about you? What do you believe in? When do you feel that you are following your joy? Maybe even just in the last 12 months, like what were the moments where you genuinely followed your joy? What were those moments? What were you doing? What did it feel like to follow your joy? When do you feel most alive? Don't think future. Don't think, oh, when I do this, I will feel alive. No, think backwards. You have a whole life to look back on. When in the last couple of months did you feel most alive? I'll tell you right now, like right now, I'm feeling really alive. I feel even more alive when I get to talk to a group of my clients. How would you like to love the world? How would you like to love the world? Now, all of this is sort of preamble. And I should also say, right, I mentioned before, I shared with you the definition of a purpose by Robert Holden. These questions are very much born out of the work that I've done in the past with Robert Holden. Some of these might be verbatim his questions, and I've just, loved them so much. I use them all the time, but I do want to make sure I give credit where credit is due. Now, this is the more intellectual approach. It's still an autobiographical approach. And in that, it can be really, maybe a little triggering, can be a little exhilarating. So be kind to yourself. Make sure that you have a cup of coffee, some carbs, some proteins, some healthy fats, all of that next to you so that you can dive into this work with with an awakened mind. So with this intellectual approach, let me make sure that I know you can't see the screen right now. Anyway, so with this intellectual approach, we're essentially looking at a few things. We're looking at what is it that you're naturally good at? What is it that you're naturally passionate about as sort of a foundation? And then what I'm going to walk you through, you're going to have to hit pause and play throughout this video. Essentially, what you're creating is an autobiographical timeline of all of your peak moments. This is not a sense of like, oh, we're forgetting about all of the negative moments. No, this has actually nothing to do with healing. This is literally just an archaeological, is that what you call it? Like expedition through your life to figure out all of the really good nuggets and figure out and help you understand, oh my gosh, I already know when I feel most joy. I already know when I feel the most alive. I already know all of these things when I feel fulfilled. Might as well own them, right? So note down these two things first. What are you really good at? Meaning, literally, like you don't necessarily on this list have to write down only things that you love doing, but what are you naturally good at? Like, I'm naturally good at organizing events. I don't like it, but I'm naturally good at organizing events. I'm also naturally good at talking to a crowd and getting them excited and getting them to do the things that I actually want to be doing. I also happen to really love doing that. So write down the things that you're just naturally good at, whether you love or hate them, doesn't matter for now. Second question, now it does matter. What are you really passionate about? What do you really enjoy doing? Like, I really enjoy going to the gym. I also happen to be really, really good at it. So I use this example for a reason. You may write down some of these things and be like, but this is a business course. None of these things are going to be monetizable. Why the frick would she have me do them? Write them down. We're creating a business and a life that's meant to work for you, not another career that's going to drain the soul out of you. Write down all of the things. Now, typically, 90% of the time, people come to me and they already have a business idea. But in case you don't, then look at these two questions right here and see where between these two lists, if you were to look at these two lists as a Venn diagram, where's the overlap? Technically, there is supposed to be a third circle, but you'll figure this out as we dive into marketing, right? Like if you're looking for a monetizable idea, you're looking for your expertise, you're looking for your passion, and then you're looking for the gap in the market. But we'll get into market research and audience development and all of that down the line. So for now, just look at these two things in case you're like completely, I don't really know what the frick I'm doing with my business, right? So this should give you some good monetizable ideas. And I'll also share some additional resources, blog articles and stuff with you below the video to help you steer your ideation. Now, still revealing your purpose through an intellectual approach. The first step is to figure out your peak moment. I want you to think of a peak moment in your life, personal or professional, specific moment in time when you were showing up as your best self. You felt like you were on the top of the world, firing on all cylinders, proud, happy, excited for the day. I want you to take a moment to write this out in detail. Where were you? What happened? How did you feel? Who was there with you? And why did it matter? And then once you've written this out, what was the result? Who was there with you and what was the result for you of that moment? And what was the result for the people who were with you as a result of you having had that peak moment? It could be a presentation that you gave, accumulation of a project. It can be a hike, a vacation, a trip that you took, a conversation that you had, like as big or as small. And now boil it down. What's one word that best describes what you were doing? And one word that best describes the impact that this moment had on others. So I put here, for example, a word that describes one of my peak moments is traveling, and the impact this had on others was inspired. Very simple, right? Now I want to sort of expound on that and have you create your list of awesomeness. Collect evidence of impact and identify peak moments of your life. This is going to take a minute for you to do. So again, press pause and hit play. Create your past to present work-life timeline. I want you to literally go through from like whenever your memory kicked in at like 2 or 3 years old, all the way up until a minute ago. Indicate major moves, significant life experiences, job engagements, transitions, milestones. Include the peak moments of your early stages all the way up to the present. And for these moments, who was around you? What did you do? What happened for yourself and what was happening as a result? So I'll boil it down. If you're like, this is too much, just give me the spark notes. Find the 10 to 20 peak moments of your life. What did you do? Who was with you? What was the impact of the people who were with you. What did you do? Who was with you? And how did the people's life change as a result of you just, having a moment, having a good moment? 10 to 20. Now you can do this as like a literal timeline. You can draw a doodle or a map. Like it really doesn't matter. Just whatever your brain needs you to do. Now with this timeline in mind, I want you to look through this timeline and identify a golden thread. Identify some patterns. Circle the peak moments, the feelings, the impact, or the work of which you'd like to recreate. And now we're extrapolating. What are some common patterns, some truth moments from all of the moments that you've circled? You might say something like, I make people feel so that. I make people feel like they're on top of the world so that they go and create the businesses of their dreams. I make people feel confident in their bodies so that they integrate yoga into their everyday life and become more healthy and grounded humans. I create safe spaces so that communities can come together. I build communities of people who want to create nonprofits that change the world so that social entrepreneurs can come together and feel seen. I bring joy to the world. Truth statements. And now from here, we're sort of going up another level, right? You have maybe now 5 to 10 truth statements. I kind of want you to summarize that. And frankly, I've been using this exercise for much longer than ChatGPT has existed. And I want you to do most of this without ChatGPT. But at this point, it might be a good idea for you to look at what ChatGPT would summarize these truth statements into. Don't ask ChatGPT to like tell you what to do in your business, or based on this, what is my business purpose? Like it's not going to really know what the fuck you mean by that. But you can say, hey, like, please help me find some common themes that came out of these truth statements, right? You can say, hey, like, I just created a few things that are true about my life and about how I show up in the world. And I'm just kind of looking for common themes. What's the golden thread? Please help me analyze this and figure out what are the common themes and the golden threads. But also you do have a brain. So look at these truth statements for yourself. What is something that you can summarize these statements into one overarchingly true statement? And you can try a few iterations. Now, by the way, if you're already working with clients, if you're a freelancer, or if you have some folks on the site that you offer services to that you see yourself integrating into your business, it's wise to write down a few of those peak moments specifically, right? Like what happens when you show up in this or that way, when you provide this or that transformation to your clients? What is the benefit of that? What is the result of that? What are they able to do as a result of you helping them go from point A to point B? Notice your purpose statement is not a list of services that you provide. It's a truth statement about what happens as a result of you providing these services. Your purpose statement is a doorway toward realizing this vision. Now, here's a kind of bit of the kicker, right? You have to actually try this on. You have to go out to people and say, hey, I'm doing a little something. I'm creating a bit of a litmus test for my business. And I just want to run this by you. Like, what comes up when I share this statement with you? Does this resonate as being true about me? Would you add anything to it? What's a question that comes up? Does this sound like me? You're not looking for validation, but you are looking to try it on, right? Maybe you change a few words. Maybe it's like, oh, actually, like this really resonates with it. Like for me, defiance really resonates with me. It's something that I use. It's a word I use very intentionally because I use it everywhere, right? I am very rebellious and defiant. Sometimes people don't like that, but it's who I am. So at this point, you may have something that's a little more in the clouds, right? Like I literally just took you to the clouds. So it's okay to have something that's a little in the clouds. But we have to also now bring it back down to the ground to have it make sense for clients and for our offers, for our business overall. So I want you to eventually become able to note down your purpose statement for the time being into this formula. I help people go from problem to outcome so that impact. Sometimes clients get a little mad at me when I make them plug their whole life into this sentence. It feels really wordy and it's very poignant. It is the fuel. Like this right here helps you understand who you work with, the problems you help them solve, the desires you help them meet, and why that matters both to them and to the larger world. Like it's such a cool statement. Play with this. Now, I'm going to start sharing my screen for a second. Make sure that I'm talking to you about all the things I need to be talking to you about. Yes. So you have your first iteration of your purpose statement with this, right? And I sort of flew right through to these steps, right? Like, don't be afraid to have this first step take a half an hour, to have this next step take a half a day, to have this take an hour or so. Like, this is really important. It truly is important. If you don't have the time to implement this module right now, then pull up your calendar right now. Block off some time. You're having a meeting with your future. This is important. Schedule that appointment with yourself. Now, I want to give you a peek into what's to come. Just in case by now you haven't really understood, why is she having me do this? Like, what does this have to do with business? Well, it has everything to do with business, particularly with your client journey. Like already right now, you can answer these questions. What is the end point you take your clients to? It's this. What are the steps you take to get there? Well, this is implied. You help them go from here to there. You're working on something, you're basing your business off of something that you have expertise in, right? So, based on your expertise, what are the steps that you have to generally take your clients through? Now, you're going to tell me, oh, it's different for everyone because I only want to do one-on-one. Absolutely. Yeah, sure, it's different for everyone. But it's not. It's not. the application may be a little different for everyone. But the general idea of you can't put a cart before the horse, that is the same. So what are the general steps that you guide your clients in stepping through? Now, we'll work on this in one of the next modules, but essentially these steps, they're going to go into these bubbles. You have your business purpose here, and then these steps go into these bubbles. And from these steps, you will create your offers. So your action is clear. Create your business purpose and begin to determine these buckets, the steps that you guide your clients through to go from A to B. Know that this might take you some time. You don't have to wait to get this perfect before you move on, but you have to get started on this before you can move on. At any point in this course or in your business life, if you're not sure what to do next, come back here. You have your 2 litmus tests now. You have your vision, that is your ideal lifestyle. This becomes important for the structure of your business. And you have your purpose. This is important for literally everything else that you do in your business. You get to look at these litmus tests and help these litmus tests. You get to look at these 2 things, turn them into a litmus test, and have them help you make decisions and avoid shiny object syndrome. You get to now ask yourself at every step of the way, does this help me make good on my purpose? And does this help me create my ideal future? Congratulations on building these 2 foundational pillars for your entire business. I'm super thrilled for you. I'm going to go to the gym now, and I will see you in the next module. Take care until then.